Good morning, Year 2, and welcome to Maths No Problem online. We are going to start a new chapter of maths today, but before we get going on that, we're just going to do a quick get our heads in gear for maths time. So I have two numbers on the screen, 69 and 82. And Ruby says 69 must be the greatest number because it has the digit 9 in it, and this is the largest digit in any of the numbers. Is this true? What maths knowledge does Ruby need? So you might like to pause the video and either have a think on your own or have a talk with people who are around you about, is this true, and what knowledge does Ruby need? Okay, hopefully you've had a think or a talk, and now we're going to discuss. So if I move my bar away from the top here, we can see the knowledge that Ruby needs is that numbers are made up from tens and ones. Tens and ones. We know that tens are greater than ones, so we need to look at the numbers by looking at the tens digit first. That will tell us which number is larger because tens are larger than ones. This number 69 has 6 tens and this number 82 has 8 tens. 8 tens is greater than 6 tens and 82 is our largest number. Okay, we're going to move on. Now for today's maths lesson, you will need some pieces of square paper. Here is a piece of square paper, a very small one. And you will need a piece of rectangle or rectangular paper. So maybe you'd like to pause the video and collect 3 pieces of square paper and 1 piece of rectangular paper. Then you can press play when you are ready. Okay, let's focus. 4 children need to share this piece of art paper equally. How can they do it? How many different ways can you share your piece of paper equally between 4 people? How will you know every part is the same? Well, before we share and before we think about anything else, I'm just going to show you a quick folding video, because when we are sharing this paper today, we're going to ask you to fold. So here we have a piece of paper, and if I would like to fold my piece of paper, I'm going to make sure that the corners are always exactly lined up when I fold. So let's have a look. I'm take my piece of paper, make sure that those corners are really lined up. Here they are exactly on top of each other, and then I can fold and I have a neat fold. Okay, go back to our pictures on here. I would like you to think about this underlined word equally today, because that means the same. When something is equal, it is the same as something else. So if we are sharing equally between 4 people, we need to have 4 pieces the same. Let's see if you've managed to do that. Maybe your paper looks like one of these pictures. We could fold in to half and then fold into halves again. That would make 4 equal columns. These pieces are equal. Another way is like this, to make 4 equal rows, but this is the same way as before. There is another way here where I could have folded down the middle vertically and folded across the middle horizontally. Are the pieces equal? Well, when you fold, do the pieces overlap exactly? And if they do on your piece of paper, then you have folded them equally. Okay, you may have found another different way as well with your third piece of paper. This picture over here shows a way that we could fold paper diagonally. And again, if I fold this up, you will find that all of the pieces overlap exactly. Okay, so there is your input today on what we would like to do. And now we're going to think what we are actually learning about. We're learning to be able to recognize that fractions are made up of equal parts of a whole. Now, this doesn't mean whole like a hole in the ground. It means whole like a whole cake or a whole pizza in total. Let's move on. Okay, now we know we are learning about fractions. What could a fraction be? Maybe you'd like to pause the video and say a sentence. Think of a sentence about what you think a fraction is. Okay, fractions are created when a whole, remember that means all of something, is shared equally into a number of smaller parts. And hopefully you've realized that what you did with your pieces of paper to fold them was actually creating fractions. Okay, how might we write down what we have done today as a fraction? What might it be? I'd like you to pause the video and have a go at writing down what you think we have done today with our piece of paper, which has been shared equally between 4 people. I wonder what you will come up with. Okay, so we shared the square into 4 equal pieces, and each part represented 1 piece out of 4 equal pieces. I've got some colours there because this shows us 1 piece out of 4 equal pieces. Our fraction is written like this: 1 piece out of, a line in the middle, 4 equal pieces. When we write a fraction, the top number is called the numerator, and the bottom number is called the denominator. Maybe you'll remember those words, but don't worry about them too much for today. This is just our introduction. Let's have a look at some guided practice. Number 1, which pictures are cut into equal parts? So I'd like you to have a look at those pictures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and think about which ones are cut into equal parts. Which ones have parts that are the same? Hopefully, you can always pause the video, remember, if you need more time. Hopefully you've noticed this one is in equal parts. And so is our cookie. This one is in equal parts. This one is in equal parts. And so is this one. But not this one. So when we are thinking about fractions, we need to know that we are talking about equal parts. Okay, as another challenge, you could use your rectangle piece of paper, just like this orange one, and you could fold it to show 2 equal parts. Then you could fold it differently to show 4 equal parts. And then you could show 3 equal parts by folding it differently again. When you move on to your independent learning today, your worksheets are going to be from your Maths No Problem workbook. And I've just put those pieces, these pieces of work onto a Word document that you can either print out or you could have a look at on the computer. So, question 1 says, circle the objects that are cut into equal parts. And there's some pictures there. You just need to draw a circle around the ones which are cut into equal parts. Question 2 says, cross out the shapes that do not have equal parts. So this time we are putting a cross. I don't want that through the shapes that do not have equal parts. So look carefully. On the next page, there are some questions about adding lines. So you need to draw a line onto the rectangle or rectangles so that they show the amount of equal parts in the question. Add a line to cut the rectangle below into 3 equal parts. Well, you can just draw a line onto here if you would like to, but if it was me, I might think about getting some scissors and cutting out this rectangle. Then I could fold it into 3 equal parts. It might be easier for me. I will leave that up to you. Okay, good luck with your maths today, year 2, and when you have finished doing some maths, we would love you to hand back in some pictures of the work that you have completed. Good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.